You know, it's hard to believe we're almost halfway through 2011 already, but I think the reason the year still feels so young to me is because I spent so much of the early part of this year playing and replaying the staggering number of great indie titles from 2010. Make no mistake, between games like Super Meat Boy, Amnesia, VVV, and Minecraft, which is technically 2009, but ate enough of my time in 2010 to warrant a spot here, 2010 was a banner year for indie gaming. Although we haven't seen any blockbusters like that yet this year, the first half of 2011 has seen a lot of games that came pretty much out of nowhere to surprise me with their creativity, ingenuity, or just how gosh darn fun they are. Here's my 5 favorites so far. Number 5, Lume. So far, 2011 has been a great year for point-and-click adventure fans. Between Lume, Hector Badge of Carnage, and Telltale's Back to the Future games, it's clear that one of gaming's oldest genres is still alive and well, at least on the PC. For my money, Lume was the best of them. Although the puzzles are intuitive and logical, which is a nice change from most adventure games, the most amazing thing about Lume is the way it looks. With its striking papercraft imagery, Lume is quite possibly the most beautiful game I've seen or played this entire year. Although it's heartbreakingly brief, I enjoyed every second I spent with it earlier this year. Number 4, Jamestown. Finally, a bullet hell shooter with a difficulty setting that makes it possible for someone who isn't a Japanese teenager to play it. Considering the amount of English language shooters that come around these days, it's safe to say I was taken by surprise when Jamestown released earlier this June on the PC. The game is aesthetically gorgeous, with a sweeping orchestral score and lovingly crafted neo-retro pixel art, but what makes it really hum is the gameplay. By offering difficulty levels ranging from dead easy to nigh impossible and giving you proper incentive to climb through them, Final Form Games has accomplished the impossible, a shooter that's both accessible to new players and rewarding to genre diehards. There is also a bounty of content here, which, considering the $10 price tag, makes Jamestown an easy purchase to recommend. 3. Frozen Synapse. In this year's tactical masterpiece Frozen Synapse, your task is usually very simple. Wipe out your enemy before your enemy wipes out you. There is, however, a substantial degree of depth here. You decide every single move that every member of your squad makes. You tell them where to go, when to get there, and what action they should take once they arrive. Decisions as minor as pausing behind a wall for a quarter second or directing one's gaze in a different direction while walking often make the difference between neutralizing an enemy or being taken out from across the map. Frozen Synapse is a game that demands the foresight of a chess master, and if you also have the patience of a saint, the slow-paced but otherwise excellent online multiplayer mode will provide you with a lot of entertainment. 2. SpaceChem. SpaceChem is without a doubt the most unique game I've played this year. Had the game itself turned out poorly, this would probably come across as a backhanded compliment, but in reality, this is easily one of the best indie games I've played in a long time. Sadly, it's hard to describe the game without making it sound boring, but trust me when I say that Zachtronics Industries has managed to make the process of assembling molecules from starter elements a lot more exciting than it was in high school chemistry class. Although this is a puzzle game, it is by no means casual. With ingenious puzzle design and a devilish difficulty curve, many of SpaceChem's levels are extremely challenging and require a lot of concentration or trial and error to figure out. Yes, sometimes the game can be frustrating, but even when it's making you pull your hair out, it's impossible not to admire SpaceChem for what it is, one of the most well-designed games of the year. 1. Terraria. By now, I'm sure most of you have had a chance to check out what has arguably been the biggest indie hit of the year, at least in terms of sales. So I'm going to keep this short. Terraria may not be as beautiful as Lume or as deep as Frozen Synapse, and it definitely isn't as inventive as SpaceChem, but it has something those games lack. A sense of progress and reward that kept me playing it far after I'd gotten my fill of those other games. Terraria isn't a lot of things. It isn't affecting, it isn't all that original, and it certainly isn't art. But it is the game I've had the most fun playing this year, and right now, that's more than enough to make it my favorite game of the year so far. And there you have it. It's been a decent year so far for indie games, and I'm looking forward to seeing what the rest of the year has to offer. In particular, we might see the release of a couple of big games in Chris Hecker's Spy Party and Jonathan Blow's The Witness. But even if those games end up coming later rather than sooner, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of great surprises in the world of indie gaming to come in the next 6 months.